Good evening, everybody. Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising. Let's mess that right off the bat. What happens when I take 2 weeks off? But we are back. Haven't been here for 2 weeks. We are finally back doing live like we should be, and we have a lot of interesting stuff. Not talking to everybody for 2 weeks. Definitely need to catch up on a lot of stuff. We're going to let people hop in, let people say hello. We have Kelly has arrived here on the show. Good evening, Kelly. Welcome to tonight's live video. I said we'll give everybody a couple minutes to hop in, get everybody situated, give everybody a chance to hello. And we're going to talk about a couple different things tonight. We are going to be talking about the newest band from Royal Caribbean. We are going to be talking about, unfortunately, Hurricane Helene, and we are going to be talking about some interesting controversy coming out of Carnival Cruise Line's new private destination Celebration Key, and we have some group cruise information that we're going to talk about. We have a possible contender for the group cruise. So that's some of the stuff we're going to be talking about tonight.
So Nellie's here. It's been 2 weeks. Wow. Hi, all.
Yeah, it has been 2 weeks. It's at my work schedule. This month has been crazy and has blocked us from doing some of the lives we would normally do. Hopefully we get all that worked out, and that will stop being an issue on Wednesday.
Ray's here. Hello from Nags Head, North Carolina. Judy and Ray.
Judy and Ray are here. All right, so we got everybody here. Now let's just jump right in and get started with some of the stuff we have going on. So one of the big announcements from Royal Caribbean this week, for those that didn't have an opportunity to see that particular video, is Royal Caribbean has banned multi-plugs.
Yes.
And I've been reading through comments on different websites, different stories about the multi-plug and over on Royal Caribbean site. And there's a little bit of confusion, I think, as to what exactly is banned and what exactly isn't banned. And essentially it's multi-plugs, and that is something that is going to turn one electrical outlet into multiple electrical outlets, something very similar to this. So it plugs in the wall and it turns it into two separate plugs out of one plug. This is what is banned, essentially. Now, that doesn't matter whether it has a cord or not. Doesn't matter whether it's a surge protector or not. Surge protectors, of course, are never allowed. But that's the ban from Royal Caribbean. It's nothing that turns a single plug into a multi-plug. However, if you have something like this that simply turns one plug into multiple USB plugs, that is being told that it is okay.
I saw Matt on RC blog, and he somewhat said he is still taking it and seeing what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a multi-plug taken from multiple cruise lines, particularly on older cruise ships. We've actually had problems with that. We've had problems with that on Carnival. We had problems with that on Disney. Had problems with it on Royal Caribbean when it was an older cruise ship. But apparently that's becoming an issue for all of them. Or Royal Caribbean simply decided the easiest thing to do is not do it by ship, is just to blanket put it out there. And some of the comments did say people were still taking them on board and getting them through security, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest. The security, of course, when you go through a cruise port, they're not cruise line employees. They're port employees, and information is slow to trickle. And sometimes they blatantly have wrong information. We hear those kind of stories all the time where someone says, such and such cruise line took something away from me before I boarded the ship. And that's always the port security.
Sheikah says, hello, everyone. Frankie's here. Hello, guys.
So if you are going on Royal Caribbean, that's just at least something to keep in mind. Try to take it on board. I know some people are still going to try to take it on board. However, if they confiscate it and say you can't take it on board, don't be shocked.
Yeah. Nellie says security is hit and miss on cruises.
Right. And like I said, Royal Caribbean's not being real specific, but the closest answer we can come to why. The big why is fire. They're simply drawing too much power through what those plugs are designed to do, especially on those older cruise ships.
Attila's here. He says, hi, y'all. Ray says, use them when you leave the cabin, hide them. But I didn't say that.
I'd say I think it really has all to do with fire, and cruising's changed. These days you've got your cell phones and your cameras and your laptops and your fans and all the other different things that plug in. And we all know cruise ships usually don't have a ton of plugs in them. So it's become pretty common to bring multi-plugs on board the ship. And I think it's just compounding the problem. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. We'll see how long it sticks. And we will let y'all know. We go on Mariner on January for sure. So we'll see, and which is still a little ways away, but we'll see if anybody is having issues going through security with a good old multi-plug. So, all right, next up we have Hurricane Helene, expected to hit Florida tomorrow afternoon, evening time. It has resulted in all kinds of itinerary changes. Port of Cozumel has been closed. We're expecting that probably Tampa is going to definitely have some issues. Canaveral has been talking about being closed, which means we will have further itinerary changes and delays going forward here over the next couple of days. Unfortunately, it is one of the side effects and possibility of cruising during hurricane season. Now, hopefully, everybody that is in the path of Helene there in Florida, they're locked down, they're prepared, they've got all of their necessary supplies, and really hope it's not too severe for them. But it is expected to be a Category 3 when it hits the coast.
Ellie said, didn't Mariner have 2 cruise days or 3? Did they have days added to their cruise?
No, Mariner had to skip Cozumel. Yeah, they ended up having to skip. I hadn't heard that they had any extra days added, but I know with Cozumel being closed, they had to skip. All the cruise lines have had something. But yeah, Mariner had an extra sea day added over the skip of Cozumel. I said the port was closed. And it is an unfortunate thing that happens, but it is a risk. And I guess it cracks me up. And maybe I think differently than everybody else, but I was reading over on John Heald's page this morning for Carnival Cruise Lines, and why every time there's a hurricane, there's a storm, he has to remind people that you do not go down and yell at the guest services people on board the ship. Yell and scream at guest services because your ship missed a port due to weather. And my understanding, the way he describes it, these people are yelling, screaming, cursing, demanding that they be given money for a cruise ship that missed a port during the weather. And I guess what befuddles me about the whole situation is these people booked this cruise. They booked it themselves. They went on and chose and said, I am going to take this cruise in September. This is when I want to go. Knowing it's hurricane season in the Caribbean. We talk about it every season. The Weather Channel talks about it every year. It's on the local news. It is hurricane season. But they booked the cruise, knowing there's a chance. And then when they cruise miss a port, they are down there yelling and screaming at crew members because of it, like the crew members decided for themselves. Even going as far as saying the captain is wrong, the captain is stupid, and the captain doesn't know what he is doing with his cruise ship. Because we all know they just give anybody captain of a cruise ship. You just be walking by like, oh, you are the captain now. You don't have to have experience. It's like making fries at McDonald's. Anybody can do it, right? But people will actually go down to get services. And this is a really harsh approach, maybe. But honestly, I think if your ship misses a port due to weather, and you go down to guest services and yell and scream and cause a scene, you should be invited to never sail again. They should be like, you know what? You're done. You're never sailing this cruise line again, because there's just no excuse for something you should have known ahead of time.
Yeah. Attila says Carnival Breeze, did it have any port stops? No, they missed Cozumel. Nellie says, I sail RC. Does Breeze just do short cruises to Cozumel?
The Breeze does. I know it does Cozumel, Costa Maya. I think it might also do Belize and Roatan. It does Western Caribbean cruises. I do know that for sure.
Nellie also said that's why cruises are cheap in September, because it's hurricane season.
Yeah, you can definitely get some better prices in September. We normally take advantage of that for that very reason, but we do it wide-eyed with the complete understanding that, hey, there's a chance we're not going here. There's a chance that we could end up doing circles in the ocean or going to some place we never signed up for. I don't know. I think about it that it's kind of an adventure.
Yeah.
It's like, where are we going to go today? There's a hurricane. What's going to happen to us? Where are we going to see? Because the ship's going to do its best to stay safe. It's going to stay out of the storm, but you never know where you're going to go sometimes.
Yeah.
That's part of the adventure. But you don't go down and yell and scream at the people at guest services like they had a single thing to do with it whatsoever. They are no part of the decision process whatsoever, but that's who they yell at. That's who they scream at. That's who they make demands at. And honestly, they should be invited never to come back. I think if you're going to ban someone from a cruise ship, that ought to be one of the number one reasons for it right there.
Ray says, you mean the cruise line has no control of the weather?
I've tried to convince people that there's a big giant switch down on deck one. And they go down there and they flip it and the sun comes out. They can flip it and make the northern lights come on. They can flip it and make the weather picture perfect. But, you know how cruise lines are. They're greedy, and they want to make extra money at the bar. They want to make extra money at the casino. They go down and they flip that switch the other way and a hurricane comes. That is the power of the cruise line.
Chica says hurricanes are also possible in October, but people still book them. And then Attila said Cozumel, Progresso, and Costa Maya.
Only for the Breeze. Okay.
The Breeze. And then Chica at Ray, the nerve of the cruise lines to not have control of the weather.
Right? It's baffling how people purposely book during that year for the price and then complain when it happens to them.
Yeah. Attila says 4 and 5 days. However, there will be a few 7 and 8 days in 26.
So, but fingers crossed, prayers out there for everybody. Of course, in the past of Hurricane Helene, let's hope she passes with minimum damage, minimum issues, and minimum problems. But unfortunately, the reality is if she hits land at a Cat 3, you are going to have some damage. We are going to have people without power. And so fingers crossed that everybody moves through that. And if ports close over in Florida, which they are expected to do, that means we are going to have disembarkation delays. Some folks are going to get some of those glorious extra sea days. And unfortunately, some folks afterwards are going to get shorter cruises. Another side effect that can sometimes happen when you sail during this time of year. But hopefully it doesn't affect all that much.
Ray said he was told that switches on the Lido deck.
Then you'd have people playing with it. You know how people are. They can't stop touching stuff. Constantly touching. That's how we get norovirus.
Kelly would like to know, when is our next cruise?
January 2nd, Mariner of the Seas, sailing out of Galveston, Texas. That will be our next time on a cruise ship. We had some bad luck this year. We've actually had to cancel 2 or 3 cruises this year. It's been a bad year. It has been an absolutely bad year. But we're going to get back into it in January, and we got a couple lined up for next year. Now, let's talk about Celebration Key. And Celebration Key is actually going to be important here in a little bit too, but I want to kind of talk about it ahead of time because Carnival Cruise Lines came out and they have been talking about the opening of Celebration Key, some of the things that are going to be available on the island, including the fact that there are going to be over 30 different places to eat on Celebration Key. 30 different places to eat. Places to get drinks, places to get snacks. They're going to have food trucks, Bahamian food, all kinds of stuff is going on over here. But there was a little caveat that also came out from Carnival, and it caused a whole bunch of screeching, I guess is probably the best word to say it, because the food's not free.
No.
So there's going to be sit-down restaurants, what I call counter service or quick service restaurants, and food trucks, places to get snacks, things like that upon the island. And every passenger who goes there is going to get what I call one counter service or quick service meal for free. That does not include sit down and get a menu. Those are going to be considered specialty restaurants, and you are going to have to pay for them. And this has pissed people off. It is not going to have a traditional buffet style lunch like you would see on, say, Half Moon Key, like you would see on Coco Key, like you would see on Castaway Key. Some examples of private islands we have been to that have that lunch buffet. And that's pissed people off because they don't want to be limited to simply one free meal. They basically said they wish and desire to eat all day long from time they get there to the time they leave, which I find a little bit weird. Because what other private island can you just eat from the time you get there to the time you leave?
For free.
Well, even if you pay, the buffets are only open for so long on board the private islands. It's not like they're open the second you get there. And it's not like they're open all the way to the time you leave. And so my only real thing is, I guess they want to be able to get multiple plates, maybe.
Yeah. Phyllis says, I never doubted the food was not going to be free. Cost big bucks, I bet.
Well, then you're going to get a free meal. But at this point, we don't even really know what that free meal will include. How big is that free meal going to be? What free meal options are they going to have? It's just been, you get a free meal. So you do get to eat for free on the island. Just not as much as you want at every place that you want. And then, of course, and why this was a big shock to some people, I don't know. But Carnival Cruise Lines, the drink package will not work in Celebration Key from on board the ship. And why I say that shouldn't be a surprise, because if you go to Half Moon Key, and if you've ever been to Half Moon Key, it doesn't work there either. It's not like that's something Carnival has never done up to this point. So thinking that Carnival was going to change their direction on that, I mean, it probably would have been nice. It might be a nice thing for Carnival to do. It would definitely benefit passengers. You purchase the drink package. Makes sense that it would work on the island like it does for some other cruise lines. But it's not going to be that way for Carnival. Yeah. And it's not really surprising. I mean, we went to Norwegian's private island, Harvest Key, and nothing was included on that. They tell you before you get there. Nothing works on this island. Yep, it's a private island, but your drink package doesn't work, and we're not giving you a single bite of food for free. You want to eat something, you take your butt back on the ship. And so now people are comparing what Carnival is offering versus, well, this sucks. This is terrible. I guess I'll go sail on Royal Caribbean and go to Coco Key. Because, of course, on Coco Key, the drink package does work. They do have the lunch buffet, but not everything on Coco Key is free.
Yeah.
And honestly, at the end of the day, if you don't like the way Carnival does business, don't sell Carnival.
Yeah.
If you like the way Royal Caribbean does business, sell Royal Caribbean. If you like the way Norwegian does it, sell Norwegian, Princess, Holland America, Celebrity Cruise Lines, Disney Cruise Lines, Margaritaville at Sea. They got a whole list of them.
Sheikah says Miracle is coming to Galveston.
Yeah, we were actually supposed to sail on the Miracle. We're supposed to be on the Miracle right now?
In October.
Yes, we were supposed to be on the Miracle in October.
We had to cancel.
That's one of the ones we did have to cancel.
Ray says the price on the islands can be hefty.
It absolutely can, but one of the beautiful things, and you can always go get back on the ship and eat your lunch.
Yeah. And then get back off and go back.
And get right back off and go back. And, you know, I've eaten at some of these free offerings on these private islands. Most of the time it's food they've taken from the ship, or it's the same supplier. It's not always that great.
Mm-hmm. Well, Attila says, I'm worried the free food will be your basic hot dogs and plain frozen hamburgers. And Nellie added with hard buns.
But, you know, if you go to some of the buffets, that's still exactly what you get. I found it funny. Somebody was comparing Celebration Key to Disney Cruise Line. Talk about Castaway Key. Now, we all know a Disney Cruise is going to cost 4 times as much. But I'm going to be straight up. The food on Disney's private island, it's the same stuff they serve up on the Lido deck. It's not that good.
No.
For 4 times the price, it is not that good. And it's hamburgers, hot dogs, it's your basic. When we were on Moon, it was your basic hamburger, hot dogs. The only one that I've ever been to so far that just made me go, wow, was Royal Caribbean's Coco Key. They had a couple of different options, plus hamburgers and hot dogs. That's pretty much the standard for the free private island fare. So honestly, wouldn't be all that surprised if that was the free meal option on Celebration Key as well. Seems to be a pretty cruise line standard.
Yeah, Chica says it is crazy that the drink package is not included. Texas Cruisers here. Good evening, folks. Did I miss anything? And then Chica says I guess they are considering Celebration Key as a port, therefore you have to buy your drinks.
Well, it's that way in Half Moon though too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like this is Carnival changing the way they've done business. This is the way they've been doing it the whole time. Excuse me. Carnival has not allowed their drink package off of the cruise ship. However, the 15 drink limit is still in place. So
Chica says, personally, I avoid itineraries with stops at private islands.
See, I don't mind the private islands. I don't mind them at all. I would go to Coco Key over and over again. I loved it. It was great. I would think Half Moon would be, when they put the new pier in at Half Moon and we don't have to tender anymore, I would definitely go there. That was a beautiful beach. It was an awesome place. What are you doing? Are you texting in the middle of our live?
Yeah, it's a work thing.
You know, I like the private islands. I have no problem going to them. But I also go into them with a reality and an expectation of what they're going to be. You know, they're going to be really nice beach days. And when we go to private islands, that's what we plan them for, is specifically to be beach days. So
Ray says, for Judy and I, staying on board and having the Lido and buffet to us is a pass.
yeah, and for those that like to stay on the ship, it's an extra opportunity. We've gone back on board the ship, gotten some lunch, and got right back off the ship if we're looking for something specific. But yeah, you're never going to make everybody happy. But that's been the Celebration Key controversy. And someone was talking about how the adults only area was going to charge $99 for a chair per person. But I do want to say on that, I don't know exactly what that is yet. That could be it's $99 to get into the adults only area and you get a chair type of situation. And even Royal Caribbean, the exclusive beach club on the back for adults, costs money to get into. So it's not like this is a shock or a surprise that the cruise line is going to be charging some money for stuff on these islands. They all do it in one form or another. And I also happen to know for a fact that you can go to private islands, have a wonderful, awesome day, and spend no money.
Mm-hmm.
I pride myself on the spend no money part. And I saw what you did.
I told you it was a work thing.
I saw what you did.
I can't spell right, but
Tiffany's not in charge of editing. So, but yeah. So that's been what's kind of the big talk of the town going on in cruising here the last couple of week or so. Of course, we've had the fun stuff. We had the couple that got caught having fun on the balcony. If you're gonna have fun on your balcony, don't do it dockside. Wait till the ship's in the ocean. It happens. We all know it happens. It's not a shock. It's not a surprise. It's not a, oh my God, people do that. No, but don't do it on it when you're docked and people are standing on the pier watching you. Come on now. You're going to end up on video. I'm going to put you on YouTube. We're all going to have a laugh. Is what it is. Is what it is. All right.
Isn't someone building a private island in Belize?
There's something being built down there in Belize. I thought it was going to be a cruise port. But we saw that a couple of years ago and haven't heard anything about it since. I don't know what's going on with that.
Now Lisa's happy birthday.
Oh.
Isn't everything in the private islands should be included since it's an extension of the ship?
In a perfect world, sure. I would say yes. But just like the ship, I think they're going to have upgrades, upsells, and an opportunity to purchase other things, just like you would see on the ship. Like I said, there's going to be, and we're going to have to go there to know for sure. Unfortunately, until Celebration Key opens, it's really all speculation. It's just what Carnival's putting out in news clippings and news blogging and saying, hey, there's going to be 30 food options and you're going to get a free meal. But they didn't say what the free meal really was going to be. Is it going to be, okay, here's a hamburger, a French fry, and a cup of water. That's your free meal. Or is it going to be something a little bit different? And we'll have to find out.
Sheikah says happy birthday.
I'm seeing that, and
he's avoiding it.
You and I are gonna have to talk later, off camera, where they can't see.
I'm scared.
I know you're not, but I mean, it would be nice. But like I said, we went to Harvest Key on Norwegian, and nothing from the ship transferred. So, but we still had a good time.
There has been balcony gates and water bottle gates. What's next?
God only knows.
Here is something to avoid: a card and.
I don't know. Yeah. All right, but that is everything. Like I said, everything going on with Celebration Key, and we'll have to see what other controversies come up here over the next couple of days and weeks.
Michael Bailey, president of Royal Caribbean, has mentioned building a private resort in the Western Caribbean region. He was probably talking about the resort in Cozumel.
No, they are talking about, now they are of course building the one in the Bahamas. They are building the one in Cozumel, but Michael Bailey was talking about them building one in the South Pacific. So on the other side, they're talking about building a South Pacific private island, which would be the first one in that area. They did not say what island chain or in what area they were going to build it, other than South Pacific. So that could be interesting. Maybe giving an option for cruises, especially if they can get it reasonable to Western Mexico side over there. On the West Coast, your Ensenadas, your Cabo San Lucas. Adding a private island stop over there could help cruises to Hawaii, depending on where it is. And I would assume that they would be something in close enough that they could still include it.
Nellie says happy birthday.
I see that. Thank you, Nellie. We really, really appreciate that. Got stop. But I heard that one was going to be in the South Pacific, as far as that one goes. And I lost my train of thought.
It's old age. Sorry.
It's terrible. Terrible. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit of group cruise information now. We are slowly.
Pretend you see a $10 bill pinned to you, like the people at the store.
I'm pretending it's right here. All right. So Carnival is slowly, and I mean slowly, releasing itineraries. We are still missing a ton of itineraries that are going to be sailing out of Florida. Still looking for like the Carnival Magic and a couple of other ships over there to see what options we're really going to have. But Carnival is being a complete butt about just putting the stuff out there. However, I do have one here that I would say is a contender. And I'm going to go ahead and throw that up here now on the screen. So this one here is from Port Canaveral. It is an 8-night on board the Carnival Vista. The Vista is not my first choice. Nothing wrong with the Vista, but it was not our favorite Carnival ship. And I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the Vista and her engine issues. She's doing great right now, but she's been doing great before. But this one is 2 sea days, St. Thomas, San Juan, Amber Cove, a sea day, and then Celebration Key before going back to Port Canaveral. Now, these prices on here are rough estimates and a per-person price. And this is before we set anything up, group anything, see what kind of discounts we can get. This is just straight off of the Carnival website for right now. But this one right here, I think, is definitely a contender for the group cruise in 2026. This particular one here is September the 19th. Let's see here. Let me turn that off right quick, but get everybody a quick chance to look at that. And right now, in my opinion, at least, that one is leading the pack, I think, but still hoping that we're going to see some other ones. I'd like to see something like that from the Carnival Magic or something like that, if at all possible.
Texas Cruiser says 10 days until we board Harmony. Woohoo! And then Attila says, like the St. Thomas San Juan ports on this one.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know. I really got my heart set on San Juan, Puerto Rico. It's just been calling to me. St. Thomas is good. And, like I said, we were just talking about Celebration Key. Well, we can all go take a look for ourselves and say, hey, is it good? Is it bad? And then formulate a real opinion after we go there.
Texas Cruiser loves St. Thomas.
There's some good ports on that one. I like the idea of doing some Virgin Islands.
Nellie says, I like it. I can't sell in mid-September, end of fiscal year for government, so we are busy folk at work.
Now, like I said, that is not the one, that is not the, bang the gavel, this is what we're doing. That is just an example of the itinerary we are looking at, and that particular one is a contender. But that is not the end-all, be-all yet. I want to be real super clear on that. I am still waiting to see what's going to happen with the Carnival Magic, and there's a few other ships over there that have some possibilities. I'd like to see what they're going to offer before we make a final decision. Because you never know, they could pop a really awesome itinerary out that we all may want to jump on. But that's what we're looking at, and if necessary too, we can shift the dates a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We could switch to October and do a Halloween cruise, which is fun. There's all kinds of stuff.
Alien says, "Hey, I just saw your live tonight. I thought you were going to be off for 2 weeks. Sorry if you've already explained that 60 times."
Oh yeah, I may have said it wrong last time we were on too. But no, we're going to be live tonight, and we are live tonight, obviously, and we will be live next week. So, but we are back, and welcome to tonight's episode.
Attila says maybe it's like an old Model T Ford. Got to get out and hand crank the engine.
Look, I'm honestly hoping they've got the Vista fixed, and she doesn't have any more problems. But she's not soaring number one on my confidence level.
Yeah.
She's just not.
Ray says group cruise, don't care, just need time and date and go.
Yeah. She says, wonder why Carnival is taking. I think they're releasing them in segments so people can book them and the engine doesn't get hit all at once. People have been waiting, people have been asking for them. I think it's building anticipation, desire, and people are watching and paying attention. I think it's almost a bit of a game for Carnival. It's a lure you in type of thing. Royal Caribbean put out their schedule for when they're going to be releasing their cruises, and it's not even all at once. They're talking about releasing some here, some this week. So Royal Caribbean's actually doing the exact same thing. Royal Caribbean just said when they're going to do it.
Yeah. Sheikah says the Halloween cruise would be fun. I like that. And then we could do a group cruise Halloween costume contest.
Which is not a big deal. It's simply that one there was what, the 17th? Yeah. Move it 2 weeks. October 1st, you're in the Halloween season, and they have the Halloween activities on board ship. First sailing beginning in October. Easy enough to do.
Texas Cruiser says Vista needs to get more coal shovels to keep the engines going. Ashika says, keeping us in suspense. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Connie says, have you considered Princess as a backup to Carnival, or are people set on Carnival?
All
I
right.
think we were going to redo the.
Yeah. Now we can redo, and I have been looking at itineraries from other cruise lines as well. When we initially did the polling, and granted, it's been about a year old, it's been a hot while, the majority of people selected Carnival. Carnival had the most number of votes as the cruise line that we were going to take the group cruise on, which is why we've been focused on Carnival. But I have been checking the other cruise lines' itineraries, waiting for them to come out, because if something comes up and is really, really good from another cruise line and it's a really, really good price compared to what we're looking at, yeah, we're going to propose it. We're going to offer it. We're going to say, hey, here it is. The goal here at the end is to have a couple of choices. We all agree on it, and then boom, we start the booking process.
Yes. Attila says, I think I heard they try to sell out the less popular ships first and then announce newer ship schedules last.
Well, which is weird, though, because the newer ships have already announced. Your Mardi Gras, your Celebration, your Jubilee, they've already announced. They've done the Horizon. They've done the Vista. Today they did the Elation. Or today or yesterday they did the Elation and one other one. I can't remember. The Miracle. And the Carnival Miracle, but they're not putting them out very quickly. And I looked at the itineraries for 2025, which is, of course, can completely change. Can absolutely be different in 2026 than what they're going to be in 2025. But the Carnival Magic had a really good, similar itinerary to the Vista. I like that particular class of ship. It's a good class of ship. I think that has a little bit of everything for everybody. It's not too big. It's not too small. Which is where I'm trying to land. But
Texas Cruiser says NCL Viva has some really cool itineraries out of Galveston. I'm looking at one of those.
yeah, I've seen the ones. Norwegian's got some of theirs up already. MSC has got some of theirs up already. I don't know that Norwegian would necessarily be the best option for
A group.
a group cruise.
Attila says, well, maybe I heard it backwards. Well, also, it's a whole logistics thing trying to compete for berths and ports for all ships and trying to get in before the others do.
Yeah. Oh, I'm willing to bet they've got these already. They've got them lined up. There is a corporate reason, whether it's to keep us in suspense, they want people to book certain ships first. They're releasing them the way they're releasing them in a certain order on purpose. They're just not telling us what it is. But I guarantee you there's a business or a public relations, marketing tool, something or another that is causing them to do this. They got a reason.
Sheikah says, come to the West Coast and sail on the Panorama. Alien says, I prefer Carnival because we're chasing after the platinum status. Then I can get away with being an entitled jerk.
Well, here's kind of my thought process on why I do think that Carnival would probably be the best option. I think Carnival's got some of the most options for food on board when it comes to grab and go. I mean, you got your main dining room, you got your buffet, you got your blue iguana, you got your pig and anchor, big chicken, your guys burgers, you got pizza, you got the deli, all things that are included. Carnival's got some of the most included food. I think Carnival's got the best kind of fun party atmosphere with the Fun Squad. If we do push it 2 weeks and go in October for Halloween, in my opinion, Carnival is the place to be for Halloween. They party. They have a good time, but you can also find quiet spaces and quiet times. And since the cruise we're looking at is going to be 7, 8, or 9 days, depending, it's going to be less party boat, more experienced cruiser. So you want to have some of the short cruise issues that Carnival is notoriously known for.
Alien says, but we're only halfway to platinum so far, so I don't think I'll get to be a jerk by 26.
I don't think I will either, but you know.
Do they do name tags on Carnival like Pinnacle does on Royal Caribbean? You know, on Royal Caribbean, we saw those people with the name tags.
I don't think so. I don't think so, but that may not be true. I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't really pay all that much attention to what somebody else's name tag may say or what their card may look like. Some of them have pins all over the place. I've seen that. You can tell they're frequent cruisers and stuff like that. But honestly, I don't pay a whole lot of attention.
Ray says, ports don't matter to us, just getting together and meeting you both.
Well, that's going to happen, but we are going to go to some cool ports. When, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it good. We're, yeah. And we're going to avoid Nassau.
Chica says, I'm with you, Alien. I am pretty close to Diamond. Alien says, dang, Chica, that's awesome. Alien, already there with Royal Caribbean. I'm a Diamond Plus jerk. I'll have 5 free drinks a day. Awesome. Attila says, I'm very long way away from platinum, but hey, can I practice being privileged and know what every cruiser wants now?
Yes, as long as you do it very loudly, vocally in the main dining room, and you use the words, everybody in here agrees with me, and you got to stand up and point at everybody.
Chica says, what? Not paying attention. I am offended.
I go on a cruise to have fun and to enjoy it. And Tiffany and I, when it's just on the us on the ship. We spend time with each other. We don't really worry about what everybody else is doing a whole lot. We'll be attentive on the group cruise,
Yes.
of course, because Tiffany's going to be the host. And so when we do special events on board the ship, Tiffany will be the one up talking on the microphone for everybody. She just found that out.
Wait. Guess it's a good thing I'm not
Yeah.
talking to
And you have to tell John Heald how fat he is. Yes. I don't get that. I don't get why every other comment people write into John Heald, they have to tell him he's fat. They will say something like, I'm so upset that they don't put a cabin in every single fan. You know what I'm talking about because you're fat.
Attila says, I never eat in MDR. There's no white tablecloths. I'm clutching my pearls already.
One of them is going to get us banned from Carnival Cruise Lines on this.
Well, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be neat if you invited John Heald onto our group cruise?
I wouldn't. That would be super cool, but it would never work. Because they never leave the man alone.
It's true.
I've cruised with John before. I've been on a cruise with John Heald. When he's not doing something specific, he is in the crew area. I mean, he goes and gets coffee and he does his videos walking around the ship and stuff like that. But if he comes out in public for too long,
I'm sure they attack him.
They swarm him and they mess with him, and the man never gets any peace. I wouldn't come on the cruise if I was him.
Sheikah says, I met John Heald last year aboard the Pride.
Yeah, I mean, he's a nice guy. He's a super friendly guy, and people being rude to a man who's just happy to do he's just happy to be there. He loves what he does. He loves the cruise line, and people are rude and ugly to the man, and damn. So yeah, if I was him, I wouldn't accept an invitation to come on a cruise neither. Plus, he does have a friendly schedule. I mean, we can invite him, but I wouldn't count on it. I would not count on it. And then the second people find out he's on the ship, they try to book every booking they can. The ship sells out. He's a popular guy.
Yeah.
He is a popular guy. But we don't need John Heald because you're going to be emceeing the events on the ship.
Tiff looked very happy with the host title. Be brave to just be out on the onboard, walking about and chatting with folks. So nice. But dang, people are rude.
Oh, yeah. Every time he goes on a cruise, he has story after story. I mean, he's got tons of more people just want to take pictures, and they're nice, and they're happy to meet him, and this and that. But boy, if they don't answer the way he wants it answered, if they don't give the answer that they expect, they're mad, they're rude, talking. And he's always got stories about how he's who they complain to about every little thing that, look, at the end of the day, he's the brand ambassador. He's not changing the stuff.
I met Super Mario on the President's Cruise, July 23 on Allure. At that time, he had over 11,000 cruise ports. I told him he was my hero. He laughed.
Are we supposed to know who's Super Mario? I'm thinking of the little guy that jumps on mushrooms. I'm thinking his brother Luigi's there. He was chasing the princess. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. But now, Rick, you're going to have to explain Super Mario to us.
Michael Bailey. Royal Caribbean.
I know who Michael Bailey is.
Well, he's talking about Royal Caribbean.
No, he said, I met Michael Bailey on the President's Cruise 2. That's also.
Oh. I didn't read that part.
And you were supposed to be the host for upcoming events in 2026.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit in the audience.
Okay.
I'm going to heckle you.
That I believe.
I'm going to be the heckling one from the audience. I'm going to be the one yelling to the back. I can't hear you, and I'm platinum. What do you think?
They're going to get a good video of me throwing a chair at you.
Well, I'll be filming, so I guess we will. Then they're going to kick us both off the show. But the way some of these people are talking about how they're going to be in the main dining room and everything, like we're all going to get escorted off the ship at some point. It's going to be a big old story on there, like group cruise all put off in St. Thomas. Our subscriber count will climb.
At least we had fun, right?
Yeah, apparently they had a lot of fun. But that is where we currently are on the group cruise. Like I said, it is still unfortunately fluctuating. However, I did want to do some prep work for the group cruise. And as we get ready to go into it and set up for it, for those that want to book through the actual group. So with the group cruise, the object here is we're going to get a block of cabins. If you've never done a group cruise before, we're going to get a block of cabins. Hopefully we're going to get some better prices, but that's going to allow us to have a get-together, a dedicated space, special events and stuff like that we can book through the groups department and have an actual get-together on board the ship in a private space, which is, of course, the goal. You know, they'll block us aside something for a half hour, or whatever the case may be, where we can go in and Tiffany can host and things like that. So for those that are interested, thinking that you are interested, this is all we're looking for at this time right now. And I got the email address on here. That is my email address. If you would put in the subject line group cruise, names and the cabin types that you are interested in. Inside, ocean view, balcony, or suite. That way I can start prepping for the block of what kind of cabins and stuff we are going to need. This is purely preliminary at this particular type, but if you're interested, we're just going to try to start getting a head count. But like I said, that is our email address that all this is going to come through. And like I said, if you put group cruise in the subject line, definitely lets me know, hey, got to pay attention to this one more so than some of the other junk that comes in here. And I will have Tiffany put in the email address, if she'll put it in the chat there for us, baby. highseasadventures@gmail.com, and have Tiffany throw that into the chat there in case anybody that still needs it. I know some of you guys already have your email address. I know we talked off the lives already. Where we go?
Adventures with an S or no?
Yeah, yes. So Alien Frequency has met Sting.
I like it.
Okay, Mario's the guy who practically lives on Royal Caribbean ships. He is a legend in the Crown and Anchor Society. Well, I imagine.
11,000 parts. Yeah.
I figured you meant the wrestler.
When you nail down the dates for our cruise, give John a shout to come along.
You know what? I'll throw him an email. I will send him a message. I will throw him an email. We'll give him the invite. So worst he's going to say no. But maybe we can get him in.
Maybe if you put in there, we're inviting you. No, we're not asking for any free stuff.
Oh, we want you to come on our group cruise. No, you don't need to bring free stuff. No, we don't expect anything other than your enjoyment of your company. Nobody here will call you fat. And you feel free to call us all mate.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think
we would like to say hi. We would like to talk to you. We'd like to shake your hand and take some pictures, maybe be in a group photo with us. And we will all be quite happy.
Yep.
And we'll buy him a coffee. Because he does like coffee.
Oh, he's already my best friend then.
Well, of course, his assistant. Okay.
Jacinta?
I think that's how you say it.
Jacinta?
I met her too.
Well, I'm sure if he's there, she's there.
Right. She was on board the Ecstasy with John. So I have
that would be cool, she said.
Yeah, I mean, that would be super cool. My belief that will ever happen is about this much. But hey, we will do the reach out. We will do it, and we will send it off to him, and we will ask him. I said the worst he can say is no.
Just make sure you put in there no free stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll start off with, hey, we don't want.
Just bring a good attitude and clothing.
Every time I've had any encounters with him, he always has a wonderful attitude.
Yeah.
You know, he always has a really great attitude.
It says we can dream.
This is true, and we shall.
And deodorant. Need to bring clothes and deodorant.
Yeah, you do. But you're going to be up front hosting. So I hope you have clothes and deodorant. And your speaking voice.
Me too.
But, all right. So, yep, that is where we currently are on the group cruise. You put the...
I did put it in there.
Where?
I thought I put it in there.
Did you hit send? Because I don't see it. I don't think you actually hit send. So Tiffany's actually going to put that email address in there. What did I see? I saw one the other day that says where, like chefs and stuff like that say, fat in the meat is flavor, which means, I'm not fat, I'm just delicious. Something along those lines. You ignore me now?
I was typing.
Oh. But that's where we're on the group cruise. Hopefully.
It's not popping up.
I don't know what you got going on, baby. Here. You talk for a second.
I did put it in there.
Where?
It's just not popping up.
On the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. Here, you talk for a second.
Sometimes I hit send and it doesn't really send. It stays in the box, never goes out until it says YouTube glitches out sometimes, they said. There it is.
There it is. All right. So we'll throw that out there. Like I said, all we're doing with that is kind of getting a basic head count so we can start kind of getting all of the ducks in a row. Because as soon as the itinerary comes out and it's approved, we are immediately going to start setting up the group with Carnival or whichever cruise line we go with. More than likely Carnival, we want to set up the group. That way we maximize our choices of cabins, where we want to be, the things we want to do, and have the most to pick and choose from before anything starts to sell out.
Yeah.
And then the earlier we book, the better prices we're going to get. So that is the current plan.
Very cool. If I can make it, I want to go no matter the line, go hang out with the High Seas fan.
If we shift over to October by 2 weeks, is that more doable than September? I know September into the quarter, but if it is in October, does that help improve your possibilities of going? And believe me, we've had to shift left and right for Tiffany's job before, so we completely get it.
Love to go in October.
And October is a pretty good, and I said a good Halloween party.
September, no. Everything else, yes.
All right, then we will actually look at shifting that a little more towards October. Halloween's fun. Bring some costumes, participate if you want to. For those that want to do, all right, so we're getting yeses. So, all right, so I think we're going to slide out of September and focus a little more on October and do a Halloween cruise. And I'm all about that.
Yeah, because
we had a blast last time we went on a Halloween cruise. So, and there was about 30 of us that went last time, and it was just a complete blast.
We are cruising October 6th for my wife's birthday cruise. Love cruising in October. Haley and Martin will be there.
Awesome. All right. Then we will shift it over and said, hopefully here in the next week or so, we will get some more. But even that Vista one I showed you guys, there was opportunities to do that one in October. So even if that one remains number one, we can still just shift it over a week or two.
Tilla says, my wife's job is a bit squirrely in fall as it gets closer to Christmas. I know the feeling, but we should be able to do it, cross fingers. I'll do whatever. Alien says, I'll do whatever. I've never been on a Halloween cruise, but whenever is good.
Halloween cruises are fun whether you participate or not. If you're a people watcher, it's a blast to stand up there and just see the creativity that goes into some of these people's costumes. They go all out.
Yes.
Some of them go all out. It's a blast.
Yeah. And Attila, we'll look at the beginning of October because I'm in the same predicament as your wife.
Yeah, we're going to do our best to narrow it down.
Attila says wife does love Halloween.
Yeah, we're going to try to narrow it down as we get a little bit closer. But I'll relook at some Halloween options, some October options, and see what comes up here.
Nellie says, Texas, have fun on Harmony. I go on her on January 19th. Leave a drink coupon in the safe room, 8541. That sounds good, though.
So that is going to be our updated plan and stuff like that. See, this is what I like, Joe. I like the deciding together instead of me just picking. I like the input. Then we land on something even better.
Yeah, because then if we do a little bit of what everybody wants, then more people will be involved.
I didn't even really think all that much of how much fun it would be for Halloween, and I love the Halloween cruises. So I think that's a really awesome idea.
Now, Nellie, we all saw it. Texas said you got it, so look for that coupon. Ray says book when you have to.
Yep. So, all right. I think we are going to go ahead and get ready to wrap this up. I know we got some folks that have got that wrestling should be coming on tonight.
It's already on.
It's already on. So we're going to get ready to wrap this up. We will be back here next week. So 7 days from now, we will be back. We got some more cruise stuff coming up. Yep. Yeah, I know you guys got to go. It's reaching that time.
Yeah.
So that's why we're going to go ahead and get ready to hop off of here. As soon as I get some more cruise information, I will put that out.
Janine says, thank you both. Have a great night. Wednesday is boring without my favorite stream. Have a great week all.
Well,
Sheikah says, see you guys next week.
And as everybody gets ready to hop off, YouTube is actually going to be, and I don't have it yet. It has not come to everybody yet. But YouTube is going to be releasing a new channel community page that's going to be on our page where we can actually have this type of conversation almost like through text, but it'll be through the channel, which will be another great way to communicate, share information in real time and respond and things like that. It'll almost be like having a live chat up if it comes out the way YouTube says it does. We don't have it yet. I haven't seen it yet. So as soon as it does, though, we're going to play with that because that'll also be another quick and fast way to get, especially group cruise information out there real quickly.
Yes.
Share things, let people know things.
I like it.
And stuff like that instead of trying to drop stuff into the community tabs and things like that. So, but all right. You ready? You done? You got more to say? You ready to host?
Just want to throw a special shout out there to Emma. Happy birthday tomorrow.
Oh, yes, it is. I wonder if she's watching. Emma, are you watching? Text me if you are. If you're watching this, Emma.
He's not watching. It's probably her bedtime.
Oh, yeah. Emma is our granddaughter. And tomorrow is my birthday. Thank you, everybody said happy birthday. But it's also my granddaughter's birthday. My oldest granddaughter, she's going to be turning 10 years old. And 10 years ago, I got the absolute awesomest birthday wish a grandpa could ever get with a granddaughter born on the same day. And so, yes, I can't explain it. It's no birthday will ever be as good unless I get another grandbaby on that birthday. So, but all right, everybody, we're going to hop off here, let everybody go. We will be back here next week. Glad to have everybody here. Glad to be back. And like always,
we'll see you out on the high seas.
Good night, everybody.